When I think about the story, The Color Purple, I think about Black women. I think about Miss Alice Walker. I think about what I get from the book. And I think that just thinking about that makes me feel special. I honestly feel like sometimes that Miss Alice Walker was writing just for me. My favorite section of this book to record was a letter in the book where Celie is shunning God. She's been writing letters to God for pretty much this whole book. And she gets to a point where she feels that she's been kind of hoodwinked, that she's questioning God's existence, questioning God's, how much God cares about her. She has a conversation with a woman named Shug, who she is deeply in love with in more ways than one. And Shug challenges Celie to think about God in a very different way, and to think about God as not external but internal. And that is a real turning point in the book for Celie and in my own relationship with whatever God is. I don't write to God no more. I write to you. What happened to God? Asked Shug. Who that? I say. She look at me, serious. Bigger devil as you is, I say. You not worried about no God, surely. She say, wait a minute, hold on just a minute here. Just because I don't harass it like some people us know, don't mean I ain't got religion. What God do for me? I ask. She say, Celie, like she shocked. He gave you life, good health, and a good woman that loved you to death. This is Celie's story, and the way she is so raw and so honest from the time that she starts this book at 14 years old, where she's well into her middle age by the end. You see all parts of her, and I feel inexplicably connected to Celie now. We have so many different kinds of women in this book. I think about Sofia, Celie, of course, Nettie, who is in Africa, Shug, some of Sofia's sisters, and Squeak. And I think that there's a lesson to learn from each one of them. All of our journeys are our own. We own them. And our lives, just because we were born into this world, that means we have something. We own ourselves. And there can be so many people in our lives who can prescribe what that life should be. But the most powerful voice that we have in our own lives is our own voice. And the lesson of learning to listen to that voice and listening to your own voice and how it connects to whatever higher power, and knowing that that higher power in some ways lives inside of you, and learning to understand what that voice sounds like, I think is the biggest lesson that I want people to take away from this book. I'm Samira Wiley, narrator of The Color Purple. Get it now on Audible.